Good evening, namaskar, and a very warm welcome to all the guests who have joined us for yet another beautiful episode of our channel Glyphs. Stay tuned as we take you through a fascinating journey from love all to loving all. To the audience, we will be recording this episode for quality purposes. Glyphs essentially means the representation of a character. And what better way to identify that what a person truly is than to observe what he loves from within. That's why the name glyphs. It also stands for being a symbol that represents something beyond the face value. And so, to highlight what we wish to do, we have chosen three symbols or three glyphs to represent what the concept is all about. Those symbols are what you saw in the logo. They stand for create, connect, and express, or as we call it, CCE. Like we love to say, hashtag passion matters. Glyphs aims to be a platform where you indulge in to identify the passion created within you, connect with each other, and openly and ingenuously express your thoughts and passions. Now, as to why we started this channel, all of you have that one thing in your life that makes you really, really happy. We might call it a liking, a talent, a desire, or even a passion. It is that one thing that is completely unique to us. It can be that you love to sing or play an instrument. You could be passionate about photography, painting, doodling, or, well, even stone balancing. This might be something that you are not necessarily doing as your work. In fact, it is better if you have a passion that helps you unwind and enjoy your own company. The reason why we thought to create this channel was so that we could all become a part of a community of people that are bound together by mutual love and respect of all kinds of passions. It is meant to encourage us to keep pursuing our passions. It is meant to have a group of people who see, learn, and appreciate the things that you do. And it is also an avenue where you can find out about the many, many different kinds of activities that could potentially become your passion. And that's exactly what we are here to do. Create, connect, and express. So again, hello, good evening, and welcome to an evening of smiles with me, Kavita Avasti, your host for this fifth episode of the fantastic channel Glyphs. Thank you to all the lovely audience that has joined us today on Zoom and on FB Live. Welcome to all of you. We would like to hear your comments. Please keep the chat box alive with your thoughts, with your comments. Remember to choose panelists and attendees so that everyone knows what you are thinking of. They say, if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. Today, we are joined by two guests. One whose profession creates a smile, but has a different passion. And the other whose passion creates a smile, but with another profession. Kedar Pathak, a dentist from a family of doctors, someone who creates smiles for his patients with sparkling teeth, and someone who chose dentistry basically so that he wouldn't have to wake up early for any kind of emergencies. But his sleep had other plans for him. At the young age of 15, he decided to love all. Oh, wait. Before you go on the wrong track and get a wrong idea, he fell in love with the world of tennis. With this, his dream of waking up early every morning completely went for a toss. Kedar's passion for tennis has resulted in him being present at sharp 6 o'clock in the morning on the tennis courts almost every day. A passion that resulted in him not only pursuing it for love, but made him compete at the district level as well. And a passion for which Kedar feels his heart does not remain in its senses. So, Kedar, that brings me to my first question for the day. A doctor, a dentist, choosing a passion for tennis. What is it that made you fall in love with this sport? Kedar, over to you.
Well, first of all, Kavita, thank you for an amazing introduction. Really overwhelmed by that. So this is a long story, probably of quite a few years back when I was watching TV and there was some tennis game going on, and there were two ladies playing over there. So it seemed as if it's like some dance form, and it was really going in sync and stuff. And the same moment, I fell in love with it. Later on, I realized that it was Steffi Graf who was playing there. And I'm sure many of the attendees or the panelists as well must have the same motivation throughout life somewhere. I'm sure about that. So that's where I fell in love with her.
Wow, lovely. Okay. So it was Steffi Graf that made you initially choose your passion of tennis?
Yep.
So then why tennis? Why not any other sport?
So she was one of the best reasons. The other reasons, or probably some other reasons, would be it's one of the hardest sports. It's played everywhere in the world. It's not that, it's played in a few countries or something like that. It not only involves your physical workout, but also a mental workout. Plus, being in, on the court, you are the one who makes the mistakes. It's not that you can blame it on, okay, my bowler was not bowling right, so I lost. So that's not how it is. It also combines geometry and physics, one of the two hardest subjects for me, at least during school and college. So even that was a challenge to do that. But another important thing is it's the best stress buster. The moment you're stressed, frustrated, whatever it is, you wake up in the morning, hit a few balls with whatever force you want to, you feel amazing for the day. That's the best part about tennis.
Which means the next time somebody wants to vent out their frustration, we're going to ask him to head to the tennis courts. Wow. Okay.
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay, so for the audience, while Kedar continues to talk about his passion, let's talk about our passion. The Glyphs quiz. It's time to start the brain cells, time to wake them up. We start with the first question of the day, audience. We'd love to hear your answers. Remember to choose panelists and attendees when you're giving your answer. The tennis balls that we see these days are yellowish or greenish yellow in color. Which color were they before they became yellow? What was the color of the tennis balls? Yes, Mandar. Mandar is written green. No, white. Yes, that's the right answer. The answer is before 1986. They used to be white in color. 1986 was the year when they turned into the yellow or the greenish yellow that we see these days. Okay. The next question. Which is the only major tournament which is still played on grass? We have a lot of different kind of surfaces on which they're playing. Yes, Pallavi. Yes, yeah. We have an answer instantly. Yes, Abhijit, that is right. The Wimbledon is the tournament which is still played on grass. Now, another question related to this. Which is the only Grand Slam to be played on clay? Which one is that? We know which one is played on grass. Yes, that is right, Shilpa. Yes, the answer is the French Open. Wow. We have an audience who is absolutely into tennis. Wonderful. Thank you so much for your comments, guys. That was really fast. Amazing. So, Kedar, that takes me to the next question. Right. As a passion, do you think you have any kind of regrets in tennis?
Regrets probably two. So one, I started late. I saw Steffi late, so maybe I should have seen her earlier. That's one regret that's there. And another regret would be wherein I had to quit my passion for a few years due to my studies, my my bachelor's, my master's, and those were the years wherein actually I missed it. So those are the regrets that regarding tennis. And personally, I would say I haven't met Steffi or Roger Federer, my latest idol in tennis, personally. I have met quite a few others, but not these two. So that's another regret. Maybe I'll fulfill it later.
We will. Let's pray that you go and get to meet your idols, of course. Yes, we would love for you to have that. Moving on, now that you know that you're so passionate about tennis, has there ever been any kind of incident where you've had to choose or where you have chosen your passion either over your profession or over your family life? We would love to know.
Can we have this answer as a selective answer and block my wife if she's listening to this?
Yes, we definitely would. You have a lot of support in this, don't worry.
So, so basically, professionally not so much, but yes, family-wise, yes, I have. I was attending my sister-in-law's wedding in Mumbai, and we had our district tournament here, and there was a player short, and my teammates knew that I am there and I'm for the wedding over there, but I was needed here, and we finished the first program in the morning at I think 12:30ish. I drove back to Pune, played the match at 6:30 in the evening, and before anybody could know that I'm missing in Mumbai, I drove back and reached there by 9:30ish, and so that's why I wanted her, muted or unable to hear this thing.
Okay, we're not going to get into this. And before your wife reacts and there are any comments in the chat box, I think let's just move on with the quiz.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes, Mandar is in a lot of form right now. Mandar, maybe you should just wait. And for the others, here's your next question. We've all seen the Wimbledon trophy. It's a beautiful piece. The Wimbledon trophy has a fruit on top of it. Which is that fruit?
Tough one.
Yes, do not Google. Come on, guys. There is a fruit which is on top of the Wimbledon trophy. Which is that fruit? No, it's not the strawberry. It's not the apple. It's not a cherry. Yes, Mandar has backed off for the moment. Come on, guys. I need the answer to this. I know it's a tough one, but that's okay. Yes, that's right. The answer is a pineapple. I'm going to show you a pic. Can you see that? That's the pic of the Wimbledon trophy. And here you can see there is a pineapple on top of that trophy. They say the pineapple is a symbol of wealth because of its exotism, rareness, and novelty. So a pineapple is a sign of social status and power, and that's why it goes on top of the trophy. Yes. Moving on to our next one. This also might be a little difficult one, but now we have regular rectangular tennis courts. Okay. Before they came up with the rectangular tennis courts, what was the shape of the tennis court? There used to be a different shape that the tennis courts were marked in. What was the shape of that tennis court? Not circular, no. Not oval, not square. I'm going to give you about 15 seconds to think about this. The one hint that I can give you is that this changed in the year 1877. I know it's a long time ago, but what used to be the shape? मला माहिती आहे अवघड प्रश्न आहे पण मग सगळे सोपे दिले तर what's the point? All to our all FB patrons also, we really want you to answer this.
It looks like everybody is busy searching on Google.
It's not going to be easy, trust me. Okay, I'm going to give you the answer for this. It used to be in the shape of an hourglass, an hourglass as we call it. I'm going to show you a pic of that. Yeah. This is how the tennis courts used to be up till the year 1877. So for our audience, not only the shape, but also the current rules of tennis were finalized in the same year. That's 1877. That's the hourglass shape that you can see of that. Yes. Nice. Thank you so much, audience. And moving on. India has only one medal in the Olympics for tennis. Who won it? Who was the person who got us that one medal in the Olympics? No, it was not Sania Mirza. Yes, we have Dr. Yesa. The answer is Leander Paes. Leander won the bronze medal in the year 1996 for the Atlanta Games. Yes, that was the only one time that India has won a medal in the Olympics. Super, guys. Thank you for all your answers. Thank you for all your contribution. And moving on, back to Kedar. We know that every sport, whether it is a passion, whether it is a profession, it needs a coach.
Yeah.
We've seen how Sachin Tendulkar has performed under the guidance of his coach. So we would like to know something about your coach. Please share with us.
Okay, so I've had lots of coaches till date, but being in Pune, everybody is a coach here. So anybody I meet is supposed to be a coach, a certified coach probably. But the first coach that I had was Mr. Zob. He was a very strict guy and very meticulous. He made us practice, though we had aches in the entire body, still we were made to play and work out. And a good thing that I can remember about him is he was the first umpire at Wimbledon from India, and this is long time back.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, yeah. So even in 1994, when the first national games were held at Balewadi, Pune, so he forced me and one of my friends as well to give the exam for the coach, as in the umpires exam. So we did do that under his guidance, and we cleared with flying colors. I think I had somewhere 96 or 98% marks at that time as well. And I also appreciated in those national games. That was a wonderful experience.
Awesome. Wow. It's a little difficult for the people who know you to believe that somebody can actually be strict with you, Kedar. But yes, I think nevertheless.
There are many people. I can name, once this is over, I can give you the names as well.
Okay, we'll have a different session for that. Thank you. So all of us do know that there are a lot of budding players who want to take up tennis as a sport, either as a profession or a passion. But we also know that tennis there's a slight challenge here because it is an expensive sport. So on behalf of all these budding players, we would like to ask you, Kedar, is there any way that you can help or you can contribute to help these budding players achieve their dream of becoming tennis players? How can you help them?
So basically, the infrastructure in Pune is amazing. The coaches are awesome. So we have India number 1, 2 playing right now, and those are players from Pune itself. So the infrastructure is amazing. So there is no dearth of quality coaches or places where you can go and play. The only problem could be that getting help from others in terms of coaching, guidance. For guidance, yes, I can always help them out. That is not a problem. Or else even I can get them connected to a few people who can help them with their diets and trainings. So that is, or a few companies as well for that matter, for sponsorships probably. That's how we can do that.
Wow, lovely. So I think for all the people who are listening to us today, you have heard what Kedar says. And in case anybody who wants to ever take up tennis, either as a passion or as a profession, he's always there to help you. Please reach out to him and he'll be there.
Sure.
So thank you, Kedar. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you so much for taking us on an interesting tour of how tennis is, how your life revolved around tennis as a passion. Thank you. Thank you for us on behalf of the audience.
For having me here as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kedar.
Bye.
So friends, what exactly is glyphs? They say passion is your version of magic within you and around you. With the power that a passion can have, you never know who you may inspire, who you may make smile or cry with joy. It doesn't need to be fancy. Passion is at its best in its simplest form. Think about the people around you. There are so many of your friends, your relatives, siblings, and colleagues who have this innate ability to create magic. Then, what is stopping you? Let's come together. Let's create waves of happiness, of magic, and of learnings together. Friends, this is a free channel which shall showcase performances on 2 days every week, Thursdays and Sundays, the time for which will be notified to everyone through our Facebook page by the name of Glyphs Create, Connect, Express. So each of you can be a part of this. Actually, we shall be eagerly waiting for all of you to come and join us. And before we move on to the next part of our episode, I would go over to Gayatri, who can actually show you how you can be a part of Glyphs. Gayatri, over to you.
Thank you, Kavita. Thank you so much. We have a lovely audience with us today. What a beautiful evening this is turning out to be. What is passion after all? Your passion in life gives you something to build the rest of your life around. Your passion can be anything that simultaneously challenges you, intrigues you, and motivates you. Passion is your mirror. Passion is something that is sculpted by each of us within ourselves. And that is something that you created, and no one can take it away from you no matter what. Since just 20 days ago, when the three of us founded Glyphs, the Glyphs community has spread to various states and cities in India. We have Mumbai, Bangalore, Odisha, Hyderabad, Chennai, Jammu, Delhi, and of course our very own Pune. And talking about global, we have reached USA, UK, Africa, Dubai, Australia, Austria, and so many more countries. It is just absolutely wonderful. And one thing that is very, very strikingly common among the entire Glyphs community is that they all agree passion moves people beyond themselves. It inspires one another and rebuilds a world of joy around you. Sounds exciting, doesn't it? So take a moment and think to yourself, would you also like to be a part of such a wonderful and powerful community? At Glyphs, we invite all passionate people to join hands. Each week, we will have 4 people come on our Glyphs episodes to talk about their passion or to perform something about their passion. We would be having people who have art as their passion, which could be painting, music, drama, theater, dance, literature. We would also be having people spreading knowledge and awareness about their passion, which we call as Glyph Talks. I'm now going to share with you 3 simple ways in which you can become a part of Glyphs. 1. Join us for every episode just as you have joined us today, and spread the inspiration of passion by sharing these episodes with your friends and family on Facebook and Instagram. The second way is to get in touch with us to be a participant of this challenge. And the third way is to refer a friend or relative whom you would love to see on a Glyphs episode. Let's do something fun right now, okay? What we are going to do is we are going to run a small quick poll over here in front of your screen right now. On the poll, you will see 4 options, all right? You can select as many options as you want. There is no restriction to the number. You have options like, I would like to watch every episode of Glyphs CCE. I would like to spread the message by using the hashtag Passion Matters in all of my posts of Facebook and Instagram. Third is I would like to perform or talk about my passion in one of the episodes. And fourth, of course, as I said, I would like to refer a friend or relative to come on a Glyphs episode. We'll give you a few more seconds to complete the poll. Select as many options as you want and please submit it. We would love to know what you are thinking right now. For our viewers on Facebook, we would love for you to post on the comment box right now if you want to support us by any of the following four options. One, you would like to watch every episode of Glips. Second, you would like to spread the message by using hashtag Passion Matters. Third is if you would like to perform on one of our episodes. And fourth is if you would like to refer a friend or relative to perform on Glips. And with that, I think we can end the poll now and we can see some lovely results. Superb, superb. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for this lovely poll. We are going to reach to each and every one of you because we here are to listen to what each of you has to say. Thank you so much. Moving on, I would like to end with a small message for all of you. Your passion is your power. Unleash it, live it, and experience the magic within you. Thank you so much. Back to you, Kavita.
Thank you, Gayatri. Thank you, everyone, for participating in the poll. Thank you. So, हमने आपकी पहचान एक ऐसे डेंटिस्ट से करवा दी जो दांत सही करते हैं. अब हम आपको मिलाएंगे एक ऐसे शायर से जिसे सही दाद आपको देनी है. It all started at the age of 11. A deep love for words, a deeper love for emotions, and an even deeper love for conveying these emotions through shairi. That's what our today's second speaker, Prantik, experienced. He says he could convey his most intense emotions in the form of his shairi, which people all over loved, respected, appreciated, and encouraged. He was popular in college for helping friends impress their girlfriends by his poetry, though Prantik says he never ever had a girlfriend himself. I think, Prantik, we will talk to your wife once the episode is over. Okay. This took a more serious turn when he got a standing ovation during a poetry competition in college. One of the judges stood up and said, प्रांतिक में उम्दा शायर होने के आसार नजर आ रहे हैं. Since then, the stage became his identity. And since then, he has always lived for the claps, the love, and the appreciation. Though by profession, Prantik is a trainer and a life coach, his first love was, is, and will always remain शायरी. तो चलिए आज की शाम शायरी के नाम. Prantik, you said that you started writing poems at the age of 11. And by the way, that was also the exact age when the legendary Mirza Ghalib started writing his poetry. So, Prantik, how did you fall in love with the concept of shairi? Over to you.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad I'm here today, and thank you so much, Kavita. The whole story started when I was in 6th grade, and during one of the English lecture, my English teacher, she explained a line from one of the poetry that we were learning, and the line was darker speck in the ocean green. वो जब वो explain कर रही थी, तो I could actually visualize. Okay, I could visualize the ocean, the green ocean, then the darker speck. वो किसको संबोधित कर रही थी, वो सब मुझे दिख रहा था. And me being a painter also, I'm more of a visual person. And मुझे मेरे सामने वो पूरा clear हो रहा था. And it amazed me कि सिर्फ word से images इतने सुंदर आ सकते हैं. So I thought of let me play with some words. So उस दिन शाम को जाके मैंने कुछ poetry लिखना start किया. So my actual journey started with English poetry. फिर धीरे जब मैं 8th grade में पहुंचा, then I realized my poetry thinking language is Hindi. तो फिर मैंने उसके बाद हिंदी पोएट्री लिखना स्टार्ट किया. एंड मैं देख रहा था कि राइम कैसे होते हैं, इंग्लिश पोइट्री के राइम्स कैसे होते हैं, हिंदी का कैसे अलग है, तो वो सब मैं करना स्टार्ट किया। एंड जो सबसे बड़ा टर्निंग पॉइंट वो शायरी की तरफ जो मेरा झुकाव हुआ, इट स्टार्टेड इन 12th ग्रेड। आई रियली थैंक माय फ्रेंड, आई होप ही इज लिसनिंग टू मी टुडे। हिज नेम इज कुणाल वैद्य। ओके, हम दोनों 12th में साथ में पढ़ते थे। एंड वो हमेशा ईयरफोन में कुछ सुनता था। मैं बोला क्या सुन रहा है? बोले गजल सुन रहा हूँ। एंड तब तक मैंने कोई गजल सुनी नहीं थी आज तक, 12th ग्रेड। तो मैंने पूछा क्या है, मुझे सुनना है। तो गजल तो नहीं, मैंने पहली नज्म सुनी, एंड वो जगजीत सिंह की थी। एंड एल्बम का सिलसिले, शायर थे जावेद अख्तर साहब। तो उनकी कभी यूं भी तो हो बिकेम माय फर्स्ट नज्म जो मैंने सुनी, उर्दू नज्म। एंड वो मेरे दिल को जो छू गए, वो नज्म, वो शब्द, वो अल्फाज। तो मैं पूरे साल भर, पूरे 12th ग्रेड में सिर्फ वो नज्म सुनता गया। एंड देन आफ्टर 12th ग्रेड, वो छुट्टियों में मैं आई बॉट उर्दू डिक्शनरी। देन मैं किताबें खरीदा उर्दू शायरी के, एंड मोर देन 50 ऑड बुक्स मैंने खरीद लिया जहां जहां से मिला। एंड आई स्टार्टेड टू लर्न। एंड आफ्टर माय ग्रेजुएशन मैं बकायदा उर्दू सीखा, उर्दू लिखना पढ़ना मैंने सीखा। एंड शायरी को तवज्जो दिया मैंने। दैट्स हाउ इट स्टार्टेड।
लवली, ब्यूटीफुल। प्रांतिक, नॉर्मली कहते हैं कि शायर या तो उदास होते हैं या फिर प्यार में होते हैं। So normally there are moods associated with shairi, with poetry. The maximum times the moods that they associate them with is either love or sadness. So we would like to know from you, what is your favorite mood as far as poetry and shairi goes?
My favorite mood?
Yes.
Sadness in love.
Okay, लगता है कोई पुरानी याद छेड़ दी हमने।
अरे आपने दिल के तार सारे छेड़ दिए। इनफैक्ट गालिब साहब भी खुद कहते थे कि जब तक दिल टूटता नहीं है तो शायरी निकलती नहीं है।
बिल्कुल।
तो वहीं से है। आई ऑलवेज राइट ऑन लव, ओके, डिफरेंट फेजेस ऑफ लव। तो हर एक अलग अलग फेजेस ऑफ लव में जो जो एक इंसान महसूस करता है, वो सारे एहसास मैंने सुने हैं, एहसास किए हैं, और मैंने अपनी शायरी लिखी है। तो वैसा है। So it's always about love.
Wow, how nice. Okay. So अब हम करते हैं शेर और शायरों के बारे में कुछ अनसुनी सी बातें. Okay? It's time for a little quiz on शेर and शायरी. Okay, I'm going to start with the relatively easy ones, of course, as usual. I want you to type in the chat box, which is the world's longest poem? The hint is, it is an Indian epic. Which is the world's longest poem? Yes, Jyoti, that is right. We have a lot of people here. Yes, Iman. The Indian epic Mahabharata is supposed to be the world's longest poem, which has a phenomenal 1.8 million words. Amazing. Okay. The next one. There are two questions. I want the answer, the words to both the questions. Okay. Again, a reminder for all the people who have joined us on FB, we would like to know your comments as well. The first question, what is the word for fear of poetry? And the second, what is the word for obsession of writing poetry? I'll repeat. The first one, what is the name for fear of poetry? The second, what is the word for obsession of writing poetry? I can almost see people furiously typing on Google. There are no answers, which means people are typing on Google. I want the English words. I apologize. I want the English words for fear of poetry and obsession of writing poetry. The English words. Yes, Neha, of course, yes. Yes, Jyoti. Yes, that is one part of it. And the second one, I'm going to wait for some more answers before I give out the answers. The fear of poetry and the obsession of writing poetry. I want the English words for both of them. I guess Google has also given up. Okay, I'm going to share the answers with you. The fear of poetry is called metrophobia, and the obsession of writing poetry is called metromania. Yes, that's it for you. Okay, now the third one. We know that the great Harivansh Rai Ji Bachchan has written the famous book Madhushala. Madhushala is a part of a trilogy series that he wrote. What are the names of the other two books which he wrote? Madhushala, of course, became very famous, but there were two more books in that series. What are the names of the two other books along with Madhushala? Come on, guys. No, Agnipath is a poem which is from the book Madhushala. I want the name of the collection of story, the collection of poems, two more in the series. What were the name of the two books? Satrangi nahi. Yes, Neha. I'll give you a hint. The other two books also start with the word Madhu. Which were the other two books? People on FB, we're waiting for your comments as well. Madhu Kalash, yes, that's right. That was one of them. And Madhubala, yes, that's right, Dr. Somesh. So yes, the other two books are Madhubala and Madhu Kalash. They are the lesser known versions. The other one, which was, of course, very famous, was the book Madhushala. Okay, before I ask the next question, there's a little background which goes in before I actually come to the question. So please pay attention. We have a very famous personality, a very famous Urdu poet, one of the greatest ones, someone who never worked all through his life for a living. His pension stopped after the Mughal Empire crumbled and it was never ever restored. At one time, yes, he had a debt of attuned to rupees 40,000. That is right. The person is Mirza Ghalib. That is not my question. Yes. Despite all these hardships, now we are talking about the great Mirza Ghalib. Yes. My question is, despite all these hardships, there was one habit that he had, which he did every day, in spite of being in such a difficult situation. What was that? No, doctor, it was not the chilam. What was that habit that he had, which he followed in spite of all these hardships? It was not writing. It was a habit which actually must have taken up a lot of his income, which was negligent at that time. Nahi, that's not the answer. I know it's a difficult one, which is why I kept it for the last. Ghazals bhi nahi. Unfortunately, it was not to do with his profession or his passion. He always said he would become great after his death, which of course time has proved. But what was his habit? Okay, I'm going to give you the answer for this one. He was extremely fond of French wine, and he had a glass of French wine every day. I think that just shows, yes. Now we know why people are queuing up outside wine shops in spite of the lockdown. Amazing, guys. So, obviously, जब शराब होती है, वहाँ इश्क होता है. जहाँ इश्क होता है, वहाँ शायरी होती है. So, Prantik, आपके लिए, why didn't you take this up as a career? And also, did you have any kind of disappointing moments in this passion of yours of shairi? Please share it with us.
Well, मैंने जैसे कहा कि मैंने उर्दू सीखा, तो उर्दू की तालीम मैंने पूरी नहीं ली, मेरे हिसाब से. ओके, मेरे हिसाब से मैंने उर्दू की पूरी तालीम नहीं ली, एंड इस वजह से मुझे लग रहा है कि भाई और थोड़ा अगर सीख लूं और उर्दू के बारे में और अच्छी तरह से जान लूं, तो शायद मैं इसको करियर ले सकता. तो अभी तक मेरे हिसाब से वो तालीम मुकम्मल नहीं है, इसलिए मैंने उसको करियर नहीं लिया. एंड डिसअपॉइंटिंग मोमेंट, पोएट्री से संबंधित मेरा सबसे बड़ा डिसअपॉइंटिंग मोमेंट था. नाउ आई वाज नोन इन माय कॉलेज फॉर राइटिंग पोएट्री spontaneously. एक शब्द सुनता था and I used to write. रात के 2-2:30 बजे मैं उठ के लिखा करता था। मेरे तकिए के साइड में मेरे सिरहाने पर हमेशा एक पेन और डायरी होती थी। सो उस प्रकार का इंसान जो हर एक मोमेंट में एवरी डे एक गजल लिखता था, एक शेर लिखता था, 5 साल के लिए मैंने एक पोएट्री नहीं लिखी है, एक भी नहीं लिखी।
क्यों नहीं? What
क्यों
happened?
नहीं? जब उम्र बढ़ती है तो कॉलेज के बाद होता क्या है कि भाई हम नौकरीशुदा हो जाते हैं, तो रोजगार के सिलसिले में जब हम मशरूफ हो गए तो तस्वुरी मेरी बंद हो गई, मेरा इमेजिनेशन बंद हो गया, वो दौड़ धूप में लग गए। तो फॉर 5 years, ओके, 5 years बंद था।
Wow.
So that was the saddest part of my life.
Before I move on, Prantik, since you said that sadness in love
Mhm.
is the mood which is closest to your heart,
जी।
we would actually want to know what was the travel, kya hua, and some of the shairi which is close to your heart during that period. Please, we would love to hear your words.
थैंक यू। वेल मैं आपको पूरा सिलसिला बताना चाहूंगा हुआ कैसे। तो
बिल्कुल,
और वो पूरा
बिल्कुल।
सिलसिला, मोहब्बत का सिलसिला, चलो शायरी के हिसाब से, ओके, गजल और नज्म में हम सुनते हैं आज।
बिल्कुल।
हम सब, ओके, जो भी ऑडियंस है, हम सब कॉलेज के जमाने में हमेशा, ओके, फ्रॉम मैन्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, ओके, हम सब ये सोचते हैं कि कोई गर्लफ्रेंड होनी चाहिए, ओके। और जैसे कविता जी ने कहा इंट्रोडक्शन में कि मेरी एक भी गर्लफ्रेंड नहीं थी, तो मेरी जिंदगी एक काश में थी। तो वो काश से संबंधित ये गजल ऐसी है कि काश मेरी जिंदगी में बाहर आ जाए, काश मेरी जिंदगी में बाहर आ जाए, तेरे दिल में मेरे लिए प्यार आ जाए। सोचता हूं मैं देखकर तस्वीर तुम्हारी, सोचता हूं मैं देखकर तस्वीर तुम्हारी, कहीं से ये मेरा दिल गुलजार आ जाए। उम्र गुजरी है तन्हाई में अब तलक, आओ जिंदगी में तो करार आ जाए। मैं जानता हूं तुम सोचती हो मुझे, होठों पर कभी तुम्हारे ये इकरार आ जाए।
हाय हाय बहुत खूब, बहुत खूब।
शुक्रिया। तो हम सबकी जिंदगी एक ऐसे काश में रहती है, तो वो काश, खूबसूरती वाली बात यह है कि वो काश एक दिन पूरा भी हुआ मेरा। तो
अच्छा।
मुझे कोई एक मिली, कोई मुझे दिखी जो बेइंतहा खूबसूरत भी थी। तो जब उसको मैं देखा तो उसकी तस्वीर मेरी आंखों में हमेशा रह गई। तो उसकी उस झलक के लिए मैंने ये गजल लिखी थी कि आईना देखूं या उनका चेहरा देखूं, आईना देखूं या उनका चेहरा देखूं, उलझन में हूं मैं क्या देखूं। ये तमन्ना है दिल की कि एक दिन उन्हें मेरे इंतजार में बैठा देखूं।
हाय।
उनकी मुस्कुराहट बहुत खूबसूरत थी, तो उनकी मुस्कान पे ये था कि उनकी मुस्कान के घायल सब है, लेकिन उनकी मुस्कान के घायल सब है, लेकिन कुर्बान होता मैं वो खुदा देखूं। उनकी मोहब्बत में मैं इस कदर रहूं, उनकी मोहब्बत में मैं इस कदर रहूं कि अपना वजूद भी मैं मिटा देखूं। आखिरी सांस पर ख्वाहिशगर पूछा मुझसे, चाहूं सिर्फ मैं उनका चेहरा देखूं।
बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत सुंदर। I can hear people. Hi. I think a lot of people are in that situation right now.
Yeah.
तो आपकी प्यार की दास्तान तो सुन ली प्रांतिक, तो ये प्यार मुकम्मल भी हुआ, आपको मिली?
मैं दो हिस्सों में बोलना चाहूंगा उस चीज को। मुकम्मल हुआ, ओके। एंड खूबसूरत बात यह है कि आज पूरे चांद की रात है।
ओह ब्यूटीफुल।
आज पूरे चांद की रात है। तो जब वो मुकम्मल हुआ, वो मेरे साथ थी, तो एक दिन मैं हाथ थाम कर उसका एक शाम में चल रहा था। तो जब मैं चल रहा था तो उस चांद को, वो शाम भी पूरे चांद की रात थी। तो उस पूरे चांद को देखते हुए मैंने ये शेर, कुछ अशार ऐसे लिखे थे कि एक चांद मेरे ऊपर है, एक चांद मेरे करीब है, एक चांद मेरे ऊपर है, एक चांद मेरे करीब है, समझ ये नहीं आ रहा है कौन किसका आईना है। तो वो आई, वो साथ में थी काफी दिन तक, लेकिन ट्विस्ट मेरी कहानी में ये हुआ कि वो किसी और मजहब की थी, जो शायद उनके घर वालों को वो पसंद नहीं। तो मजहब जब आड़े आया तो उस पर भी मैंने ये एक नज्म लिखी थी कि मेरा मजहब मेरे आड़े आया, मेरा मजहब मेरे आड़े आया, दिल नाकाम मगर होता क्या, कौन से तारे से वरना तुझे टूटते हुए न मांगा था।
हाय।
फिर कोई तारा टूटे गगन से, फिर मैं मांगू तुझे उससे, इस उम्मीद में बैठा रहता हूं, इस उम्मीद में बैठा रहता था। और ऑब्वियसली जब दिल उदास होता है तो हम खुदा को भी ब्लेम करते हैं, तो ये खुदा के लिए है कि खेल एक ऐसा तेरा खुदा है, दिल भी दिया है तोड़ा है। खेल एक ऐसा तेरा खुदा है, दिल भी दिया है तोड़ा है, तकलीफ होती कम होती जो दूसरा दिल भी देता था।
हाय, सुभान अल्लाह, वाह, ब्यूटीफुल, वाओ। Okay, Frantik, I am going to move on, and we know for a fact that the legendary Jagjit Singh, your dream was that he should be able to sing in the form of ghazals what you had written.
जी।
But now, unfortunately, वो नहीं है हमारे बीच. So now, what is your dream? Where do you see yourself with your शायरी and your ghazals?
मैंने लगभग कुछ 500 प्लस कुछ गजल लिखी होंगी, तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि उनका एक कंपाइलेशन हो जाए, उनकी उनकी एक किताब बने और लोग पढ़ें, एंड वो महसूस कर सके कि मैं भी प्यार किया हूँ, मैं भी दर्द महसूस किया हूँ। तो जितने भी मेरे लाइफ के नुकीले एहसास है मैं वो शायरी में लिखता हूँ, बस पढ़ें। एंड अगर कोई गजल उम्दा कोई गजल सिंगर आते हैं और उनमें से कोई गजल वो कंपोज करके अगर गीत में या गजल रूप में डाल सके किसी एल्बम में, मुझे बहुत बेइंतहा खुशी होगी।
बिल्कुल, हम भी दुआ करेंगे कि ये हो। एंड बिफोर वी साइन ऑफ, प्रांतिक, the ghazals or your shairi which are absolutely close to your heart, we would like you to share them before we sign off for the evening.
ये नज्म जो है, एक नज्म है, तो ये नज्म मेरे दिल के बहुत ही करीब है, बेइंतहा करीब है।
Please, इरशाद, yes.
वो ऐसा है कि अभी हम बिछड़ गए हैं, ओके, हम दूर हो गए हैं, लेकिन फिर भी मैंने अपनी पूरी जिंदगी उसके इंतजार में गुजार ली है, और आज इंतजार करते हुए ही मौत ने मेरे दर पर दस्तक दी है। मौत मुझे लेने आई है, मगर मैं मौत से अपनी एक आखिरी ख्वाहिश पूरी करने की गुजारिश कर रहा हूं। इस आखिरी ख्वाहिश में भी मैं उस शख्स का इंतजार करना चाहता हूं। मुझे उम्मीद है वो इस आखिरी वक्त आएगी जरूर, और इसी उम्मीद के दम पर मैं मौत से कह रहा हूं, कुछ देर तो और जी लेने दो। और मैं मौत से कुछ इस कदर कहता हूं, वो आ जाने को है इधर, कुछ देर तो और जी लेने दो। होने को है रोशन घर, कुछ देर तो और जी लेने दो। ए वक्त जरा थम थम के गुजर, मैं मर रहा हूं तो मेरा वक्त जल्दी ना जाए, तो इसलिए मैं वक्त से भी गुजारिश कर रहा हूं, ए वक्त जरा थम थम के गुजर, हो जा साकित कहीं ठहर, आई है मुस्तकबिल की खबर, कुछ देर तो और जी लेने दो। तन्हा ये आलम गुजरने को है, मुसलसल जिंदगी संवरने को है, होने को है तमन्ना असर, कुछ देर तो और जी लेने दो। ये मंजर फजा फूल भंवरे, उनकी जानिब है ये सब ठहरे, लाने को है वो ये लश्कर, कुछ देर तो और जी लेने दो। वादियों के धुंधलके से कोई किरण, खिलने लगे हैं गुलशन और चमन, आने को है वो अब नजर, कुछ देर तो और जी लेने दो। मगर हमें ये इल्म वो नहीं आएंगे, दिल के अरमान सो जाएंगे। हमें ये इल्म वो नहीं आएंगे, जो है अरमान सब सो जाएंगे। दिल में उम्मीद फिर भी मगर, कुछ देर तो और जी लेने दो। ए मौत तो आई है लेने मुझे, एक ख्वाहिश पूरी करने मुझे, कर ले जरा तू भी सबर, कुछ देर तो और जी लेने दो, कुछ देर तो और जी लेने दो। शुक्रिया।
प्रांतिक, आपकी बात सुन के आज मुझे लगता है हमारे बहुत सारा ऑडियंस इज गोइंग टू से एटलीस्ट आपकी शायरी के लिए कुछ देर तो और जी लेने दे। Absolutely beautiful. I'm sure a lot of our audience has fallen in love again today. आपकी शायरी सुन के बहुत खूब, बहुत सुंदर। This actually reminds me of some beautiful lines by Robert Frost. When an emotion has found its thought, and the thought has found its words. That's when poetry is born. And that is exactly what you have shown us today, Prantik. Your emotions, your words, the way you put them forth. Thank you so much, Prantik, for taking us through a beautiful evening of love, of shairi, of emotions. And I think, like I say, I think I talk on behalf of most of our audience. A lot of us have fallen in love again today because of your shairi. Thank you, Prantik, so much
Thank
for
you.
being a part of this today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Before we end, I would like to take some time from you. So, like I said previously, this is a free channel and we will showcase performances on 2 days every week. We have divided these performances into 3 categories. The first, knowledge sharing and awareness. The second, performing and static arts. The third one is interactive engagements. You may have knowledge about a particular topic which you might want to share with everyone and create awareness about it. It could be anything, right from trees to global warming, Cartoon Network to Animal Planet, fun and games to scientific discoveries. Or you may be someone who would love to display a certain passion that you may have. It could be photography, painting, sculpting, poetry, singing, dancing, or performing arts. You may be someone who loves to conduct interactive activities. The list is endless. The possibilities are infinite. And we are here to listen to each and every one of you. That's what Glyphs says. We know you got it. You know you got it. Let the world know you got it. Glyphs is your platform. It is all about you, all for you. So let's come together to build a new era. And before we end, over to Tanushri for the concluding part of the program. Tanushri, over to you.
Hello, thank you so much, Kavita. So first and foremost, I would like to give a huge thanks to all of you guys who have joined us here today and who join us every week. It honestly gives us motivation to keep bringing forward the different kinds of passions that everybody have all around us. Could I request these people to please wait back, or if you're watching us from Facebook, please join us here on Zoom. Could we have Shabir Sabuwala, Anagha, Rachna Bora, Vaishali Ranade, Rajas Upadhyay, Nitin Gujarati, Abhijit Janve, Shilpa Deshpande, Mandar Mahajan, Pallavi Shiladkar, Kaustubh Vaimbe, Yogaja Kulkarni, Sangeeta Talgati, Smita Chodankar, Ashwini Paranspe, Hemant Oswal, Lakshmikant Vipradas, Nirmohi Deshpande, and Sharad Avasti. You might be wondering what this list is. These are our list of loyalists for Glyphs who have watched every single episode and who help take this episode all across for us. So we would please request you to join us here backstage on the panelist stage. Moving forward, I would like to specifically thank our performers today. Kedar Pathak, as Kavita has mentioned, is a dentist by profession and joined us here today to share about his passion for tennis. Our second performer, our very dear Shair, Prantik. He is an expert with a science called psychogeometrics, and he is a life coach by profession. Our very efficient and beautiful host, Kavita Avasti. She is a fashion designer who owns and runs Poshak, a 26-year-old setup on FC Road that specializes in traditional clothing. She is also a mentor at Deyasra and is a senior director consultant at BNI Pune West. And she is someone I personally look up to quite a lot. The show on stage can never become a box office hit without the support of a strong team behind. So I would like to especially applaud Aniruddha Bhide, who works on the technical side of Glyphs. He looks after the statistical data analysis for the Pune University. And of course, we have Ankita and Mangesh of DW Place Solutions, who handle our social media channels. And of course, finally, I would like to especially thank my partners, Salil and Gayatri. Only we know how many discussions we have at the back end to make this Glyphs CCE channel a reality. And honestly, I could not think of anyone else to create this with. So thank you so much. And thank you to everyone for joining us today. We will be having our next episode on Sunday at 5 o'clock. Could I please have all the names I mentioned earlier join us back here so we can have a photograph of all of us, please? Thank you.
Thank you, Tanushree. And again, thank you to the wonderful audience for joining us and being a part of this lovely episode of Glyphs. Before we sign off, we will be waiting for you to join us on this Sunday at 5 p.m. for our next episode. On behalf of Team Glyphs, namaskar, thank you, and have a wonderful evening ahead. See you very soon. Signing off. Thank you. This is Kavita Avasti, your host for the evening. Thank you.